In this episode, we're going to see how to use scikit-learn cross-validation. Especially for this one, we'll see how to use the Keras neural network structures and do it. And the cross-validation package is available from scikit-learn, but you need to, Keras cannot directly be used, so you have to use a wrapper to contain it to use it in scikit-learn. Let's see how that works. So there are a number of videos that I have referenced. For example, the Kaggle, here regression and Keras regressor, or UFSARCH, there's some other ones. Or I also looked at Stack Overflow of the comments, how to do things here. Okay, but let's see. There are two things that one can do. One is the Keras classifier for 1-0 prediction, isn't it? That yes and no, and so there's a binary output. And the other one is a Keras regressor, which is more like the regression type. The output is a value. And, so for Keras classifier, first let's install the Scikeras TensorFlow package. Okay. All right. And then we'll download the usual ones that we need. But one thing that the TensorFlow and all this, but Scikeras wrappers, there's a Keras classifier. We want to especially import that library. And let me get the data. The data is what you're familiar with, which is the default prediction, the default database, 1-0 for default data not. The database we used in earlier episodes. So let's just get that. We'll just set the X and Y's. And if you're curious, the X, the ones, well, I guess it's easier to show you the data frame. The employed bank balance and annual salary will be used for X, and defaulted 1-0 variable will be the Y variable. So let's have a random seed, and then here. I'll define the network as here creating the model and compile it. It will return the model. Okay. And then the Keras classifier, the model will be here calling the network. It's 30 epochs, batch size 10, and I will show the middle result and call it, pass it on to model. Okay. So this one will be invoked. So let's have a threefold, for the interest of time, you can do it longer, but threefold stratified k-fold. So split the data into 3 pieces and rotate one of them to be batch data. And then, so the CV, the cross-validation is the k-fold is passed on, and the model is from here, Keras classifier and X and Y data. And then it will run 30 epochs 3 times. So you can see it will run. Okay, so that's the first cross-validation. So it cuts the data into 3 pieces, and right now the first block is used as a test data, and the rest will be used as training data. And then now the second block. So it's 30 epochs for So the middle block is now the test data, and the left and right blocks are used as training data. Okay, and finally, now the very last block is used as test data, then the first two blocks are used as the training data. And you can see the accuracy is not too terrible. I mean, given that we're really training for short 30 epochs. But here. So it will give us 3 benchmarks, basically. And right now I'm asking just to present, and it will pass it on to the results. The results contain 3 accuracy measures, and just give you the average. 9 and 30, and the average of the 3 accuracies out of this testing. So when the first block was used as test, second block or the third was used as the test data, it computes the accuracy. So it's 96% on average. Let's see, you can look at, of course, the results separately, visually. So 96, 96, 96. So it's almost very similar, consistent. So this is how you'd use the training type, supervised learning, your keras, and use the cross-validation function from the Scikit. When you have a regression type question, of course, you can just uninstall. I'm not going to log in, but this time you'll have to use then the keras regressor scikit-learn. Okay? And let's just mount the data like the Boston housing prices that we used in the earlier episode. The median housing prices are. So this is not a 1-0 type of output. It's like a continuous value. So let me just get the data. I'll just have the whole thing called Y-train and X-train, median value so in the Y-train, and then the rest of it is in the X-train. And again, let me call it baseline model, and there's a sequential layer. Okay. And then let's have a random seed, and then let's see the keras regressor. I use the baseline model, the network, and I have 1,000 epochs of batch size 5. And pass it on to regressor. So every time, so I have the k-fold split into 3 pieces. Again, split the data into 3, and then generate it. And here, the cross-validation score estimator is now the regressor, this thing which was calling the keras regressor, and X-train and Y-train. And then the scoring method. There are a couple of scoring methods one can use. Let me just show you what they are. So here are a bunch of scoring methods. For classification problem, what options you have? For us, it's regression. So a typical one is the negative mean squared error. But in regression, you may want to have the R-square. So let's just use the R-square matrix. Okay. So the k-fold, 3 pieces, and then use the R-square. We split into 3 pieces and stored in k-fold the data. We'll use the k-fold to do it, and then print the results. Okay, that's it. And if you look at the R-square, it's here individual, right? So this is how you use the cross-validation, which is called cross_val_score from Scikit, and using the keras classifier or regressor, this wrapper Thank you for watching this episode.